Forgive me for using old B-roll for this, but 2 sets of switches haven't arrived to my house because of the Royal Mail strikes, but what are you going to do? So I thought I'd have a nice little discussion about gaming switches. After using the Gateron Speed Silvers for a while, I really liked them and they felt great for gaming for me personally, but I wanted to delve into what makes a good gaming switch. Generally, or historically, what dictated a gaming switch, quote unquote, or sometimes they're called speed switches, are a light spring and a short actuation and bottom out distance, which is the distance the stem travels before actuating and then bottoming out on the switch bottom housing. A few years ago, I think it would have been widely understood that a gaming switch would generally be pretty light, which just simply allows you to press the key and actuate the key quickly with little resistance. Teilhard Types changed the game a bit after making T-Fuse keyboard with Novel Keys creams. His logic for this was a lighter spring won't return quick enough. For example, if you're strong enough to press the switch quickly anyway on a slightly heavier spring, the spring will allow the stem to return back up and then you can press it again in quick succession. Right, whereas a lighter spring might not do that quite as quickly. Enter into the chat the 2-stage spring. This is a relatively new thing to hit the mainstream of the custom keyboard community, becoming more common now. They are springs that are longer than usual, generally about 21 millimeters for a typical 2-stage spring, whereas a normal spring would generally be about 15. This type of spring has been used in more modern gaming switches. So why 2-stage or long springs? Take 2 different springs. One's long, one's normal. Both rated at 60 gram bottom out. When you put the long one into a switch housing, it will have to be compressed to put it in the housing. So the top of the downstroke, when you're pushing down the spring, the long spring, because it's already compressed quite a bit, will require a more initial force to press it down. For me, this just means, a same 60 gram bottom out spring will be harder to mispress a key with a long spring than a normal spring. Anyway, I love the Gateron Speed Silvers. What do you think makes a good gaming switch? Can we all agree? Is it a light spring? Is it a heavy spring? Is it a 2-stage spring only? Do you agree the definition has changed somewhat over time? Talk to me. Comment, like, subscribe.